Hello everyone, we are Brigade of Beans, a dissociative identity disorder system who talks about our lived experiences. My name is Astral, and this video is a bit of an update about what's been going on in our life over the last few months. So we've had some questions about what happened to our videos. As you might see, we currently only have 2 videos on our YouTube, and over on our TikTok, most of our videos there have also been purged, although we've had some new ones being released lately. And over on Instagram, we've also been pretty inactive, and I wanted to talk about that, but I also wanted to say that there will be some trigger warnings for this video, because I'm not quite sure where it's going yet. They're on the screen now. Please give them a read and make sure you're in the right headspace, and before topics come up again, there will be a trigger warning at the top of the video with the timestamps, hopefully, so that you can skip to the next part. Before we get into the heavy stuff, I wanted to go over a few positives that have occurred in the last 4 months. I don't know, time is hard. I don't know if that's like that for any other DID systems, but we have a really bad perception of how long time is. But we have, in the last few months, been given a formal diagnosis for autism and a formal diagnosis for ADHD. Now, people have asked why this is a positive thing. Why would you want to have something wrong with you? And it's not that I want autism or I want ADHD, but having those actual formal diagnoses means that it's one, recognizing something that is there and recognizing that actually, yes, these things that you're experiencing are real, and two, allows me to get help and support for them. So the major support that my autism diagnosis has meant is that we now have access to NDIS, which in Australia is the National Disability Insurance Scheme, which we can then access a bunch of funds to help fund support workers, therapy, occupational therapists, assistive technologies, things like that, which has been insurmountably helpful. We only got our diagnosis for ADHD literally yesterday as I'm recording this, but we now have a script for medication, which we're going to trial and see if that is helpful, which I'm very, very hopeful for. And the other major change that's happened, if you saw our last video, is that we started taking HRT. So we're now taking testosterone. We've been on it since the 31st of August 2023. And yeah, that's amazing. We haven't noticed too many changes yet, but the big question, what happened to our videos? So in May, I believe, we took all of our videos down from this page. And we didn't just private them, we deleted them. We were in a bit of a mental health crisis. There was a lot of stuff going on in our life at the time that all kind of accumulated into us not doing very well. And our flight response was activated, and part of that for us was running away from everything and not being seen. We didn't physically run away, but that did manifest in us deleting our TikTok and deleting every single video on the channel. We would have deleted our channel, but we couldn't work out how to do it at the time, which is a good thing. We do quite like our channel, but we didn't have those videos backed up. We don't have a lot of storage space on our laptop, so those videos are just gone, which really sucks, because they were kind of like a time capsule for us. So we literally can't re-upload them. They don't exist anymore, which again really sucks. Part of that, I don't even know if episode is the right term, but part of that period of time we were semi-completely convinced that we were lying about our system. Not lying that we have DID, but there is one alter in our system who has had the very strong belief that we are a system of 10 alters and there are no more than that. And our YouTube videos basically disproved his reality, which sent him into a massive spiral. It's not uncommon for systems to have parts who are amnesic to the whole or some of the system. I, as myself, aren't even aware of the full system, I'm sure. But it can make things difficult when they decide to act in line with their reality when their reality isn't the same reality as everyone else is experiencing. And it can, yeah, be very hard and very difficult, but he's doing better. The other thing that happened was in May, we got a cosmetic upper lip tattoo, which we love. It's designed to mimic stubble. It's very subtle. If you can't see it in some lights, you can in others. It's exactly what we wanted, and we're very happy with it, and it's amazing. But, huge but. I also want to add that our tattoo artist throughout the entire process was amazing. She asked if we were okay with her uploading the video of her doing the tattoo to her TikTok, which had several 100,000 followers, I believe, and we were. We also have a TikTok. We know that we run the risk of millions of people seeing a video every day because of how the algorithm works, and we said yes. Do I regret it? No. I regret the fact that people, on the other hand, can be terrible. So what happened with that is the video got 2.2 million views, and in the end my tattoo artist had to turn the comments section off because people were filling it with absolute vitriolic hate. There was a lot of transphobia, a lot of people taking issue with the fact that we were referred to as beans, a lot of people taking issue to the fact that we should just grow it ourselves, that we should try XYZ instead, trying to tell us how we should do our own medical transition, saying that they didn't think it was right, that we didn't look like the kind of person who could consent, saying that it was unethical, all of these really terrible things about us and our tattoo artist. And this was happening in May when we were not doing well. And because we also on our page posted a video that was a lead up to us getting that tattoo, because of how the algorithm works, a lot of people who saw our tattoo artist video then also saw our page, and we had a massive increase in hate directed towards us on our page, and telling us that we were faking DID, that DID isn't real, all of this stuff, which, as I just mentioned about the part who didn't think that our system was as large as it was and didn't line up with what we were presenting online, really fit into his beliefs, and just it didn't go well. So we deleted our TikTok, but we reactivated it before the 28, 31 days, whatever. So we reactivated it in June. What also happened in June is we had our second psychiatric inpatient stay. It was semi-planned, but also not really. We hadn't been approved in DIS yet at this point. Our psychologist was going away for a month, and as I said, all of this other stuff was going on, as well as some stuff that I'm not going to talk about on the internet. So we had a 4-week inpatient stay at a psychiatric ward. And during that time we caught COVID, which really fucking sucked because we were in a hospital where there's not meant to be COVID, and it was our first time catching COVID. We really struggled to wear masks because of sensory issues, but more importantly because of trauma. We will if we are around people we know are immunocompromised, but our main way of avoiding COVID is to stay vaccinated and to we don't go out a lot. We try to do our best by just avoiding situations where we could catch COVID. And I know that a lot of the world is like, COVID's over, it's normal now, and all this stuff, but I'm already disabled. I do not want to add long COVID to the mix. I don't want to add any of the side effects that come from catching COVID multiple times, or even one time. I don't want it. So we were incredibly frustrated when in the psych ward we caught it, and that also meant that we were confined to our room. We weren't allowed to leave, and so it was our bedroom and the bathroom. Because it was a private facility, which our health insurance covered, we did have our own room, but it was only 1 week of isolation, and it should have been 2, but it was only 1 week. It was not good. We were locked in a small room for a week, and the only time we had contact was when our psychiatrist or nurses came in full PPE gear. And at the same time, we were also experiencing fusions. Our brain, how our brain works, is around every 9 to 12 months. It will go through a period of fusing down the system. we have quite a large system with quite a high fragment count. We are polyfragmented. And so how that often works is we'll have our frequent frontiers, our semi-frequent frontiers, and then all the other parts that over a length of time will front once, twice, a handful of times, kind of orient to space and time, and then go back internally. And that will happen every week, every couple of weeks, pretty consistently a lot of the time. So we are constantly helping new members in the system orient to time, orient to who we are now, orient to a safe enough space, and all of this stuff. And it's a lot of work and it's very taxing, but it's how our system functions. But because of this, like, the count of like active alters will go up, and it will kind of reach like a cresting point which sits around 300, and then our brain will start fusing it down into a smaller number. Not everyone fused, but a lot of people fused, and we went from again about 350 parts to now 150. So we about halved. And we've once again been readjusting to ourselves. But the start of that fusion was happening in June and didn't stop until, well, we had another fusion last week, but didn't stop proper until September. And it's not like a super conscious choice. It is a subconscious one, but there are alters who drive it. There's some gatekeepers who drive it, who help facilitate it. I don't know how to word it because I know that they don't have 100% executive control over it, but it's like they can sense when the brain is naturally doing it and then can start acting as guides. I don't know, I'm not a gatekeeper. So that was also happening in June when we were in the psych ward. So we were spending a lot of time incredibly blended and blurry because we were fusing, when I specifically was fusing, and I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't know who I was. Like, I knew I was in the psych ward, but I couldn't work out who I was because I wasn't me yet. I was in this weird semi-fused, half-amalgamated state of Alexander, Gail, Thomas, and X. And it took me until like the last couple of days of being there to, oh, I fused. I am me now. I'm not any of them. Who am I? And then working myself out. But backtracking again, other changes that had happened, we're now living by ourselves for the first time literally ever, which I think has been for about a month and a half, I believe, which has been a big change. We don't adjust to change very well, and it still doesn't really actually feel like we're living by ourselves, even though we are, and we have been for a good month or so. It has also been good. We are masking less, we are less exhausted. It feels good to be able to do what we want with the whole space. We've changed our living room layout, we've put another bookshelf, we changed bedrooms, and that's all been really positive. I sidetracked completely. Back to TikTok part 2, I guess. Because of the sheer amount of hate and vitriol that was being directed towards us, as I said, we deleted our account whilst we were inpatient, but we reactivated it before like the timer ran out. And I don't know if we immediately put it on private or if we started posting again. I think we started posting again. But then we had someone start targeting us in our comments, and all of our comments are completely filtered. So we'd have to approve them. So Cryptic or the protectors or myself would go in to approve comments, and there was someone who kept commenting the same things over again, and would block their account and then the same thing would be commented. And it was really horrible stuff, as I'm sure you can imagine, very triggering. So we privated our account, and then we privated every single one of our videos and made the executive decision that we would start posting again, but keep our posts on TikTok de-identified. We wouldn't identify who was fronting, and we would limit our talk of personal experiences, which we have done, and that has been helpful. So we've started posting there again, just more kind of informational content. There's some fun stuff on there as well. We've been talking about DID and fictional worlds. We're planning to talk more about what we've been reading, and kind of make more content about stuff we enjoy, because we enjoy talking about DID. It's one of our areas of interest, and it's nice to be able to talk about our areas of interest. Not posting a lot at the moment because right now we are taking the time to watch and observe the humanitarian crisis, war crimes and genocide that are happening in Gaza, and for us that means limiting what we're posting. I know that we're not a big account, it's not like we're going to block up the FYP, but we are instead just using our platform to repost people's videos and information about that, and observe and watch and keep record of what is happening. And then our other social media platform is Instagram, where we have also been very, very quiet because we haven't really had the capacity to write posts at the moment. Writing is very different from talking, but we do plan to, again, in the future, post more on there and all of that sort of stuff. Some life updates for you. That's why our videos disappeared. We had a mental health crisis, a denial spiral, and targeted online harassment. Oh, which is still ongoing. I didn't mention that. Welcome back to TikTok part 3. So our tattoo artist no longer has an active TikTok page. She took it down. But someone else has re-uploaded a few of her videos, only a handful, including our tattoo, and are impersonating her, but then liking transphobic comments in the comment section and just being transphobic. Which is quite funny to me because for a while there, the caption was just beans with a little love heart. And me and my friends think it's quite funny to imagine the fact that that just really got a massive big fat crush on me and is sad that they can't date me. But in all seriousness, me and my tattoo artist seem to be taking a lot of space up in their brain to the point that they've made a fake account to impersonate her and to send harassment my way. The advantage this time is not a lot of people seem to have found my page from that TikTok. And that TikTok account actually, like the one impersonating my tattoo artist, has blocked me because I stitched their video. And I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm a real person. I'm happy with my tattoo. It makes me really happy and it gives me a lot of gender euphoria. I don't think it's okay that you're impersonating someone else. I don't think it's okay that you are sending harassment my way. And I was maybe a little bit mean about it. I did say that I hope their foot was run over by a truck. And that video was up for maybe a couple of hours, and then TikTok took it down for harassment and bullying, but haven't taken down the account that's impersonating someone else. We also got uploaded to a fake disorder cringe video on YouTube for talking about non-human alters, which apparently immediately makes someone fake because they dare to mention something that is a very common phenomena within a disorder. So yeah, we're still having people target us and harass us for being trans and for having DID. It's just on a slightly more removed scale. It does suck, but it has fueled our spike meter. Like earlier this month, end of last month, we were really not in a good place. We were doing therapy twice a week. We normally do it once a week because we weren't in a good place. But we made it through, mostly, and this is going to sound so stupid, we were really hopeless, we didn't feel like we had a point, all of that kind of shtick. But having people be mad that we exist in the way that we do has fueled our spike meter, has given us a reason to exist, has made us feel better and more motivated and like, actually, no, you're wrong, I do deserve a life, I do deserve to exist as myself, I do deserve a voice, I know my own internal experience better than them. All of those kind of thoughts that have been helpful. It's not as good as I enjoy life, but it's certainly better than there is no point, why am I here? It's been a rough year. Oh, my fidget just popped on me. Ew, 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 ew. Wash my hands. Change to fidget. Let's get back into this. I don't know where I was. Oh, was I up to talking about the future of this channel? Maybe. I know we keep saying we're posting again, and then keep not posting. I don't know what's going on exactly. We are, again, trying to get back into posting. So the Reading of the Hunger Games, which we just posted, is a new series that should be sticking to track how our voice changes with HRT. as well as give some a little bit of insight as to like how our system functions. It's not a big one, it's not explicit, but it's really interesting to me to see how many different people have actually chosen to participate, because I don't front every day, or when I'm fronting I might be out of the house, I might not be in a position where I could actually film. And whilst we were trying to film every day in the last half of it, we were filming every second day kind of, because we haven't been well, we haven't had motivation, we've been really struggling. So it's been very hard to film when we're like, well, we're never going to publish this, so what's the point in adding to it? And it's like, the point is it's giving us something to do and it's fun, and now we have published it. So hopefully we're going to be recording every day again, or trying to. But if you notice that we miss a day or miss a couple of days, it's kind of just a reminder of the fact that we are disabled. And also, sometimes we forget. Like, even if I'm fronting for a whole day, I might forget that it exists. Because, as well as the amnesia from DID, we have ADHD. Two different memory problem things combining into one is not very helpful. But hopefully the ADHD meds help with that one. So that series will be releasing, again, every 2 chapters we'll be uploading. So I think that took us about a month and a half to film the first one, so it should be every month and a half, 2 months, whatever. And we want to start posting our informational videos again. I don't know if we'll be doing more Meet the Alters. I don't know if anyone wants to be more specific. We might do like a mini speed round thing, I'm not sure. Once we finish, like, so the Hunger Games is split into 3 parts, right? Once we finish part 1, we should be uploading all of the bloopers from that, because there are some quite funny outtakes. The amount of times Brandy walks in front of the camera or knocks the camera over or interrupts us when we're reading is quite funny. Oh, that's the other update. We've actually bought a tripod. So now that we have an actual tripod, filming has become a lot easier. I need to get an actual chair to go in here in front of our background. This is my desk chair. I hope to get like an actual chair that can sit here. And then we can just use this as our filming spot. Although I think we'll still be reading the Hunger Games in the living room, standing, because it helps with our projection when we're reading. And we're not quite looking down so much. But yeah, we also hope to get back into posting the informational content. We might be reposting stuff. We want to do tier lists, but we can't work out how to edit those tier list videos together. I'm going to say it again. Going to try get into posting weekly videos. This has been Astral. It's been a rambly update on our life. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Take care. Go drink some water. Take your meds if you haven't already. Eat if you haven't eaten. Remind yourself that you are amazing. And tell someone you love them, even if that someone is a pet or a stuffed teddy or yourself. Bye.